Hello and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto TA Charts live stream with me, No FOMO Charts. Today is July 5th, 2022. It's about almost 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a Tuesday today, so we have a short 4-day week for stocks. And we are in a new month. Also, the start of a new quarter. We also have quarterly earnings for stock market stocks in about 3 weeks from now. So, in about 3 to 4 weeks from now, we're going to see some additional corporate earnings releases and also volatility in the markets. So, that's probably going to be the main driver of stocks, and we might see a secondary reaction in the cryptocurrency market as well. So for the next, from about the end of July to the middle to the end of August, that's probably gonna be the main catalyst besides the usual events and news that's happening around the world. Let's start off with stocks. Looking at the S&P 500 futures chart just to get a little bit of extra data for the stream. So what happened in our play-by-play? We did hit this target. So a quick recap of what I was saying last stream is I was saying I would not be surprised if we pull back to retest somewhere in the X zone, which we exactly hit, this 37.66 range, and then bounced up to test this resistance 38.33. Exactly what happened. So where are we going from now? On the daily, I am just watching the resistance and support. Where's our resistance? 3853. I'll just leave it in purple so people can see. The support 3749. The second resistance 3939. The second support 3660. That's all it is. That's all it is. So if we break bullish on the price, obviously it has to pass through 3845, the number. Are we going to get a higher high or at least a retest of the ceiling of 3926? Possibly 4,000. Get that marked in. Okay. Or if we break bearish, retest 3752 and 3657. That's all it is. Very simple. Very simple. We can add in one trend line. So notice that I'm not stressing out a little too much about news or about trying to chase stocks. It's really simple. I set my resistance to support, and that's what I play. That's it. There are other indicators, obviously, but so I'm drawing a lot of lines here. The one that makes the most sense, let me just clean it up. To me right now is this downward wedge that hits the most recent touch points. So now it's really obvious. We're either going to break out of the triangle wedge, the wedge, or we're not. Okay, so just prepare for those two scenarios. It's like a plus or minus 3 to 6% on S&P 500 futures. If somebody's trying to, again, invest, is this the bottom of the market? Most likely not. Most likely no. Because there's too many global catalysts that are driving this price action. Bring in some indicators for some clues. 4 hours, we do have an open MACD, EMA. It's kind of in the middle here in the RSI neutral zone on the 4 hours, the 1 hours. We did hit that oversold level, which explains the bounce today. All right, so just want to watch out for that. At 15-minute, we did hit our overbought range, and futures did pull back. So we just want to watch out for, are we going to get a little pullback for day trading tomorrow, and for swing trading, can we break one of these two resistance or support levels in the purple lines, horizontal lines up here? Okay, let's move on. Let's look at Nasdaq futures for a couple minutes. It'd be a little bit similar story, but it's not exactly the same. All right, let me just erase everything. Drawings. So our price action analysis is, we did set our low about 3 weeks ago, our support level 11,137. See this, it's still drawn here in gray. We'll just leave the gray here so we don't have to redraw. What I'll do is put a little trend line here. You can see this trend line, little symmetrical triangle forming. So the market is undecided at this point. Could go either way. We are pulling back a little bit just because that 15-minute chart going to the downside, just like we said. Okay. So this could actually be a measured move. Conservative 4% to liberal 8%. So 4% upside would be this top gray line, 12,189. 8% target would be the yellow bar. There's upwards resistance of about 12,648 level, and that also applies to downside 4% and 8% as well. So now that we have our targets, we don't have to get scared about anything that's going to happen in the market. We know eventually we're going to hit one of these two targets. So I'm just watching the price action on NQ. Is it extremely low price for a long? No, not right now. Not right now. For swing trading, it's actually day traders. The bears had some pretty good fills this morning and this afternoon as well. It is in a 15-minute up cross on the 15 minutes, so we'll see how far we're going to pull back into the retrace before we get an attempted bounce. So again, is this the bottom of the market? Most likely not, but there's a lot of pressure that's building on the bottom side here on the MACD histogram on the weekly chart that it could pop significantly with, I believe, earnings going to be a major catalyst. So earnings can make or break these chart setups, right? If we have a series of terrible bad earnings, I mean, we could get multiple legs down to the downside, right? The charts is less important during stock earnings season. It just gives a general idea of what's happening for investing. It does look nice, but it's not ready to pop just yet. Okay, so let's switch over to Dow Jones futures. Today had a little stronger hit to the downside because of commodity crash. Pullbacks in oil and gold and silver this morning, and natural gas as well, which I've been talking about for several weeks and months now. So some of these chart setups for swing trading investing, it takes some time, and then finally it breaks. So our resistance on Dow Jones futures 31494, support 30786, resistance 31076. So I'll put a $30,000 support down there, just psychological. We get the trend line on the top side. We get the trend line on the bottom side, support. So again, still in this downward sloping wedge. And we're still in our downtrend or EMA cross, okay? On our daily. Our 4 hours is still in this neutral RSI zone. The only good thing is the price bounced and is holding the trend line support. So we essentially did double or triple bottom right around 30424. So the same kind of thinking applies to this chart. It's that sim triangle. If we look at it at a 3-week time frame or something like that, it's about 3 to 6%. So these purple targets are basically, they're the targets, except for this middle one, right? You can see it's just getting stuck between the blue lines. Consolidation, there's bad news, then there's good news, there's bad news, there's good reaction. So for me, when I get this kind of chop, I'm going to wait a little bit for some very clear direction. I did, if you're in my Discord, I did close out my long positions. Let me see exactly, where's my Discord? In our trading room on 6:28 in the morning, I closed my long position. So 6:28 is right here. So I closed it right at the top of the move. How did I know how to do that? It's just experience from technical analysis. And there were some warning signs here that we're losing momentum and that it's starting to fade out. And then we had that consumer confidence report right at 7 a.m. my time, which was negative. And then we had the bearish reaction. I was watching the price action live, knowing that I'm in a danger zone up here for swing trading. Closed it out, took that profit, actually went short one position. So I'm actually short right now, a certain stock. So, that's just swing trading. That was just pure preparation, and I know what I'm doing on the charts. So just business as usual. So hopefully that makes sense on Dow Jones. If someone's trying to day trade this thing, yes, we did get that overbought range, losing some momentum. And again, we're going to see how far the retrace goes down. Possibly 30,652 for day trading. Swing trading, again, if this is chop, in my opinion, it's kind of choppy, so I'm not really touching it. If someone's long, they want to wait for the support on this side, down on the lower blue side, right? If somebody longs right now, they're longing at the top side, not the bottom side. That's about self-control. I see this, and my mind is not thinking go green. No way. Doesn't matter what the chart is saying on the right side. I mean, the watch list color. This is the top side of the parallel channel. So I'm not touching that as a long. I would touch it as a short. But again, in terms of, is this the bottom of the market? Not likely. Not likely. It's just our 200 EMA bounce on our weekly that I called out like 2 weeks ago. It's getting there though for investment, right? If we look at the pandemic, how low did our RSI go on our weekly? 18.61. Right now it's 40. So there's plenty of downside potential. It's going to take a while though. Months, if not a year. Okay, let's move on here. Let's just hop over to commodities really fast because look at CL1 futures, going to the next part of our segment here. So oil, remember, oil, we've been in the uptrend on oil for 7-8 months now. I remember calling this, I have to keep telling people, this stream, watch out for this higher low, then we might bounce up, potential long entry, and that was basically that bottom of that move for this long investment leg. But in the more recent price action, we pulled back, we set our, I'm gonna have to erase this. We set our lower low in the price right here on June 29. That's our, lower high. So lower high, and then we lost the support of 106, and I was calling out all these targets, which I just erased, but it hit all of them. So technical analysis, sometimes it takes some time to play out the setup. It's just patiently waiting, just waiting. Also, there's a large trend line here. Once we lost that trend line, happens to Bitcoin, happens to commodities all the time. When we lose that, where is it going to go? If it's not going to go up, where would it go? It probably has downward momentum. People are watching that. The bounce, failed attempt, shorts are going to jump on that. Also, we had G7 meetings last week, which had an effect on supply and demand of oil and natural gas. Consumer confidence is at almost a 2-year low, like a 1.5-year low, right? So there's a lot of things. Also, just this is a technical setup. So now where are we going to go from here? What's going on with oil? Well, at a long-term view, just from, let's take our December low till now, we just lost that 382 level. The 50% could be the next target, 94.42. The 618, which is $88, or this previous support level resistance inflection point of 85. I'm still going to leave this little yellow line here. It's important. Because now, if we do happen to bounce bullish, we could see it happens all the time. We could try to get this retest of 105. The market's actually wondering, okay, are we really downtrending? People who are not looking at charts, they'll do this. 105 and then attempt the 95. It happens. So you can see the 200 EMA2 is 95. So I'm just going to X that for next time. 200 EMA is our downside target. But for our short-term swing traders, it is in a oversold condition, but at the same time, I would like to see a retest maybe of 97.58. Sometimes that happens as well as a setup. And again, the low of the 15-minute, which happened this morning, is basically over. So, might want to be a little bit careful. Sometimes timing is everything. Okay, let's go to natural gas futures. So we hit our downside target. I'm not going to erase everything, go faster. It did bounce here because somebody asked me last time on stream about natural gas. And then I did tell that person, okay, there's a potential bounce opportunity, but watch out for the downside. So whoever asked me, if we bought it, right, or whoever asked me, would have completed that long, but then it hit the resistance at the lower high, and I said, watch out for this 50% or this downside area, which actually happened as well. So unless somebody's gonna flip it and go short, then that's why I was a little hesitant to call this one out. Because there was intense bearish momentum going into this on the weekly, which is why I was telling people to maybe just be a little bit careful of this one. But for now, on our 4-hour, we did hit the double bottom here, about 544 area. Let's put it in a yellow box. Zone, natural gas, if you haven't noticed, is very expensive compared to 2 years ago, right? So on our daily, all these X's here on this right side in the circle, this is that support zone that could be the target, the 50%, 540, or if we penetrate way deep into the downside, 450 as well. Could be our support targets to the downside. 1 hour, let's see. It is getting a little bit low. If it could hold the support of 543, that would be good. Potential this double bottom of the 4-hour, but with the way the volatility is right now, bears are in firm control. It's a clear downtrend, right? So until the price flips around and goes upstairs again, I'm not touching that as a long. No way, just patience. Although the MACD histogram divergence is building, it might likely touch $5 or the 5.25 range before it tries to make a real bounce up to the upside. We could get a day trading bounce, really quick, fast one, but again, the trend is downtrending right now on natural gas. All right, let's just look at gold. Somebody asked me for gold one time, GC1, and our call was correct because I was saying this was just an example of this box, but if you rewind the stream, I drew these two saying there's nothing screaming at me to go long here. I remember saying something like that on the charts. So watch out for the support and resistance, and it broke to the downside, right? If we really pay attention and just turn off everything, we know that this price was in a downtrend, low, high. So that if we lose the support at 1810, it's going to go to the downside, right? This is just an example trade saying if somebody's going to attempt to do it, maybe there's a support here, but watch out, right? So that's why. Sometimes gold likes to penetrate down to the downside. It could be an interesting opportunity. Might not need to be so afraid, right? But this is the 5th or 6th time that happened. So it's not about fear, but it's more about, okay, what's the most highest chance setup of this chart? Is it going to go green? Is it going to go red? We do have a little bit of double bottom on this RSI. Very nice. But still, our 15-minute hasn't broken bullish yet on our GC1 futures. It probably will at some point, but with the commodities crash, I mean, things pulled back and we might get a rebound. So if we get a rebound, the resistance could be like 1788 or 1779. Support at 1763. We'll look left to find our additional support on the left side, like a 1750. 1763 and 1753 as well. So I just play those. The trend is still downtrending, so watch out for a deep penetration by the bears to the downside. Just watch out for that. You never know, right? Because this thing is still downtrending. Again, it's not going up. So trying to time the bottom, this is more like a falling knife play. So I would recommend for people educationally, no reason to get hurt on trades, right? Sometimes when it happens though, I want to see at least a higher low established to show that we're not going to go down, then enter there. This was a support play. It happens. Sometimes it doesn't work. If it keeps going down, then I'm going to be happy I waited. If it goes up and holds, then I might enter somewhere here. Okay. Just quick look, quick glance at silver. I'm not going to do the full analysis for this one, but still the downtrend on silver, right? There's a clear death cross here. So low, high, lower, low, of course. Just normal textbook action. I know people are, if they're longs, they're like, okay, when is it gonna bounce? When is it gonna bounce? It might bounce soon because we do have a little bit of a bullish momentum set up here on the 4-hour. And so sometimes when buying in the open black space like this is a little bit, it's a little bit falling knife type. So if somebody's very conservative or somebody's very aggressive, they might try to play it. If they're conservative, just try to wait a little bit to see some proof that we're not going to just bounce and then crash down one more time. So short's having a field day and having a lot of fun with this one. All right. What time is it? 20 minutes in. All right, we'll do a little bit of Forex and then we'll move on. Because if somebody's paying attention, the euro also crashed. And if you haven't checked my profile, I have some longer term ideas in my profile that sometimes hidden is down on the page of my trading view profile. Those are the weekly setups, and it's all coming to bear fruit. What do I mean by that? So I remember when I drew that chart in my mind on the analysis, I'm looking at Euro USD Forex right now, is the support level was on this chart somewhere around the $4 level. So we broke below that. So this is actually a significant break of support to the downside. It hasn't happened for about 7 years. So it's needless to say, it's a pretty serious event here. Was it forecastable? Yes, it was on the charts because we were just in a clear downtrend for 1 year straight on Euro USD. This in the blue circle is a clear downtrend. So going short up here fast enough is the key. Once we hit that lower low or there's a double top, loss of support, immediate short inside the triangle, short that thing down. Now there was a little bit of a bounce attempt here at the 104. Just about what I released it, I think. Attempt to bounce and then pull back to the downside. So probably what's going to happen is it's seeking the lowest low. Where is it? Where is it? So as long as obviously whole numbers are very important, like 102, $2, $1 in the whole number, and then $1. If we lose $1, the news will probably panic about that. But it's still in the downtrend. Where's the resistance? 103.8, 104.5, support 102.3, getting ready for this. There might be more price history on a different chart, but there's another chart that's open. So we lost the triangle. You want to measure it, 1.43%, 1.42% to the downside is where we just hit that. Ooh, so what's the double of that? 2.8, it's $1, 1008. Be a downside target. 1.43 to the top side will retest the bottom of this triangle as resistance. So I'm going to write that down here, 103.5. Watch out for that. But it is in the oversold range here on the 1 hour, 4 hour as well. But you want to watch out because last time we get in these 4 hour low RSI areas, it usually goes down a little more. Right? So yes, there's a little bit of bullish momentum here to my eyes on the MACD and RSI, but I want to see it stop dropping or set the higher low. Again, the trend change is very important. USD JPY. This one was in a bull rampage to the upside for a long time now. Let's go to the daily for 1+ years, right? So it did have this bearish momentum, so just kind of watch out for this. I mean, it's not just about the chart, but it's almost like natural gas. At some point, this thing's going to pull back deep because it went up too fast. That's not normal. So momentum is probably going to bring it back down at some point unless a global fundamental news catalyst changes something. So we have clear levels to play off of. We have 132, we have 130, we have 127, 124, 120, and then 115. So I raised the Fibonacci. You can also play a steep trend line as well. So the immediate support is like 134.51. Just below where we are right now. But again, just watch out for this because on the weekly, it's getting there, losing momentum. So it might take 3-6 months before this thing really pulls back down. So just watch out for that. Caution if somebody's trying to long that. On our 4 hours, it's almost consolidating, almost like a Nikkei 225. Almost, right? Because it's all related. The yen, Nikkei 225, S&P 500, the US dollar, it's all related, right? On a 1 hour, we are at the support. So it's kind of like gold. It's watch out for this penetration. Just one more, punch to the downside before it flips around. All right, so let's look at the DXY, the dollar currency index itself. And so we did get this pullback on the day over here in May and then here in June, but we did double bottom here at 103.88. I was a little concerned about this, a little concerned about that, and then we rallied off of that. Interesting today that we pulled back in the market and still rallies. Everything rallied today. It's very, at the end of the day, it's interesting. But on our weekly, we can see the bearish momentum is setting up. So DXY could fall potentially once it reaches a specific area. I'm just going to put up a quick Fibonacci extension. Okay, we're testing the 1618. All right. That makes perfect sense. The next major target is 109.45. If it goes extreme, bull, 113 parabolic. Also at that pivot point as well. See, let's zoom into our daily. So it's in the up cross. It's not in a complete overbought range here on the daily. Just rejected down for the 1618. So probably what happens sometimes is on the intraday, it goes down and gets oversold, like a 5-minute bounces up. So I'm expecting a retest here of 106.78. Yes. We can see here on the 15-minute that the MACD histogram is building. So it's kind of recharging for our next potential move. But as a long, it's kind of too high for me, right? If I was going to long this mentally, or some derivative ETF of this kind of thing, right? There was a previous level of support here already with some momentum. So this is not the greatest spot to long. It's in the air right now. Just watch out for it. Somebody's going to try to short that eventually. Okay, let's move on. It's about halfway. We do like 1 or 2 stocks and then we'll go to crypto. So what was moving big? Our tech sector had a nice rally. Let's do an AMD. AMD has high volume right now. It's very interesting. So AMD stock on the daily is in a downtrend. It's been in a downtrend since December, and we called this top, this potential top. It's been a downtrend. Kind of brutal sell-off, but that's stocks. So it's right below our trend line resistance that we fell below it. It was oversold on multiple time frames, then it bounced up to the upside, and it's stuck under here, our trend line resistance, right? Where is this? 75.63. We do have a secret gap resistance right here at 80.94, and then also 87.57. On our weekly, let's take a quick look. The momentum's building, but it's not extreme oversold. It is hesitating right at this 200 EMA, the red line. On our daily, well, I learned not to trust the RSI completely because it's just a general price derivative momentum oscillator. So sometimes it's not the bottom of this RSI. Do we have some momentum? We have a little bit of bullish momentum forming on this AMD chart. The MACD histogram is building, a little green tick on the histogram, and also our RSI is showing us little signs of bullish momentum. So I wouldn't be surprised if bulls try to keep pushing this to the upside. I should note that we have FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow. And if you're in my Discord, sometimes, actually every week, I release bring up on the screen here. It's a general watch list of things that I'm watching out for in the stock market that I know will have a global impact. So tomorrow we have jobs opening data, FOMC Federal Reserve meeting minutes, And then Thursday, Friday, we have average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate data. That definitely affects the market. It definitely affects the stock market, and then it has a secondary effect on crypto market. That's why it's very important to pay attention to it. The correlations are so strong right now. And also we have many current events and news. And so sometimes I do put stock and crypto, chart market notes in here, but today, there, according to my criteria, there wasn't one that I found. Except for maybe what I'm talking about right now in AMD, is that on the 4 hour at least, it's starting to build, but it's not really there yet, because if somebody is really sensitive about the timing, 72.23 was the play. So Friday was the buy spot, right? Because if I am really detailed, this RSI is not down here anymore, it's up here. So we already had the bounce on the 15-minute, right? So again, just like Nasdaq futures is, are we going to pull back? If yes, how deep? How deep? In this little baby Fibonacci right now, how deep are we going? 73? We're going to 74? We're going to 73? We're going to 73.06? Where are we going with this price, right? If we reject below this 200 EMA, that's our resistance, 75.59. Our deep support is 71. So this is all I really have to care about if I'm trying to get a handle on this thing. It has to break one of these two levels. I would like for it to break bullish, but the market is the market. It's not under one person's control. Again, the hourly, this was showing us real strong bullish momentum right until 6:30 this morning. Very interesting setup. So it's very predictable. This one was predictable on the charts. There's not really that much extreme stock news. Okay, so Tesla, here's an example of where I was saying there could be a potential double bottom play here on Tesla. And this is actually where I went long, I believe. I went long here on Tesla. And I sold Tesla up here on where's the 28th? Right here in the morning. Okay, so I longed this X and then I sold at this X. So how did I know how to do that? It's technical analysis. Put a little bit of work, finding a charts, finding a setup, execute, and don't get too greedy. Understand exactly what it is I'm doing when I'm entering the market with the, reasonable amount of capital, and then execute. No fear. Execute the trade. So Tesla, beloved EV stock, has some competition now. It is hesitating a little bit of this big symmetrical triangle and this price action forming. Okay, it's a little bit of hesitation going on. All right, there's a lot of symmetrical triangles in the market right now, which means the market doesn't really, it's a battle between the bulls and the bears. So this is a big target, 15%. That's a lot. So 40%, 770 is our upside target. 40%, 578 are sim triangle target. Our immediate support, 669, immediate resistance, 713. So we just play those levels and we just understand that we're still in a downtrend. And there's news on Tesla almost every week. So I just want to watch out for that. Every week something happens. So if we zoom way out into a 1 or 2 year, well, we are at some kind of support trend line. That's why it's hesitating here right above 643. So in a bullish case, I mean, we could set a lower high all the way up in the 900s if it's possible, right? If all earnings are great, which it might not be, but in a bullish hypothetical sense, if it's great, $900 could be the upside target up here. If it's bad, just like AMD, it'll pull down and then dip buyers are going to buy that back up. So it could crash down to like a 500, then bounce back to 600. So just watch out for that. So because earnings is coming up in 3 weeks, exactly 15 days from now, I am not going to give so much, chart setups because I know. Just wait for that. Just wait for that to release. I know a lot of people like to play and get really, really antsy and excited about it. I mean, that's my day trading, aggressive swing trading. If you're an investor, though, all I'm staring at is this earnings date. I want to see the report. Let me see the real numbers, and then I'll make a decision. Not off a tweet or not off the hype news. All right. So in this last section, we're going to move on to crypto. If anybody has any cryptocurrency requests, please type it in the live chat. We have about 25-30 minutes left, and then we're going to be off for today. So if you have any requests, could be a stock as well, please type it in the live chat as soon as possible, and we'll get that going. Cheer donations are always appreciated. I'm live here on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. We have a free Discord group. If you want to join all that, if you like what you're seeing on stream, if you learn something, go ahead and give me a follow on any of these platforms, and just try to build a positive, profitable trading community that is global. All right, so let's go to crypto. Total market cap. All right, it's kind of an ugly chart. But the reason why I don't delete it is because I need to show people what we were doing last week. Okay, the only good thing I'm seeing here is fundamentally we did have Binance USA remove the trading fees, which is wonderful. I was waiting for a long time for Binance to do that, because in October 2019, all these stock exchanges removed commissions for trading. That's why a lot of Americans flocked back to stocks and options. Options, I mean, they still have fees, but the stock trading is commission free, quote unquote. There's still slippage. But I was waiting for the crypto exchange to do that, because why are we paying, commissions on crypto trading when stock trading is free? You know what I'm saying? So they finally did it. I can't wait for every single exchange to go commission free on crypto trading. Then I might come back to the actual trading part of it. Okay, the only good thing of total is, all right, we set this higher low. I mean, we are pulling back with a potential evening star pattern, triple candle pattern, bearish in play. Now, the resistance and support that I'm seeing, we got resistance 950 billion, resistance 890 billion, support 848 and 819 billion. It would have been nice if this double bottom and we try to retest 943, and then we get the target of that to 12%, which could be way up here, our 50 EMA, 1 trillion, basically 1.06. If it hits that, that would be nice. But at the same time, it's almost turning into almost like a symmetrical triangle. Again, the market is kind of, you might not see it on this chart, it has to be on the 4-hour, right? You could see it's consolidated, equilibrium, double top right here, and crypto, Bitcoin pulling back. Bitcoin did get to that $19,000 range again and then rallied yesterday, right? So if somebody's trying to trade crypto right now as a day trader, swing trader, just educational, is we're trying to buy the lowest low. Buying up here at the top of this triangle randomly or on accident on technical analysis, that's the top. This is the top, 954. This is the top, 884. Where's the bottom? Down here. Down here. But it's scary because everything's red. That's the problem with trading for most people, right? So what's next? Okay, we have this double top here. When I see double tops on total market cap for crypto, I take them very seriously because it's real. We're talking about the entire market. So 4%, if it's 4% to the downside, that's our target right here, 817.92. That's our target, right? It needs to, if it's going to hit the support level like 855 and then bounce to the upside, okay, great, phenomenal. But if not, watch out for this break of support, retest of that, and then eventually ending up here at 820. That would mean Bitcoin going down to like 17,000 or something like that. So just watch out for that. Again, people always ask me, when's Bitcoin going to moon? When's Bitcoin going to moon? What should I do? Bitcoin going up or down? Well, crypto is in a downtrend for 9 months. On our weekly chart, we're seeking out the lowest low possible. Yes, there's bullish momentum, and we are down here in the weekly low RSI point. The question is this the bottom of the crypto market crash? It might be a tradable bottom. It might not be the bottom of the market, just like the stock market, which is why you don't hear me blasting out every crypto setup chart that I'm finding. Protection of capital, protection of profits. The only good thing, like I said, is the higher low. We need to not go below 829. If we lose 779, then this whole bullish setup is canceled. Something to think about. Okay, let's go to Bitcoin futures. So here's a perfect example of why I like to use alerts instead of just drawing lines. If you have a Pro Premium account here on TradingView, I highly recommend it because you get these alerts and you can draw it on your favorite assets and cryptos, so you don't have to keep staring at the chart all day long. So what did I do? We put a daily resistance breakout alert at 21,490 on Bitcoin, and then $20,000 breakdown. And then I remember the exact minute that happened, I started watching the charts. So it broke down, went down to where? Wow, 18,520. 18,520. I remember saying, watch out, guys, or everybody, if this thing breaks out support, it's going deep. Downside, that's exactly what happened. So is it uptrending right now? No, it is not. It's down cross. This is the truth of the market. It's down cross, it's death cross, it's down trending right now. Somebody's trying to catch the bottom, there's risk. But it's better to buy like somewhere down here than rewind it and accidentally buying here and then holding it all the way down. That's not the right thing to do in terms of if somebody's trying to be a profitable trader. So where was the relative low? It was right here on June 30. I believe that was a Saturday or Sunday, right? Again, though, not trying to be too negative here, but the 1 hour is trying to attempt to come back. On the hourly, trying to uptrend here on then the 4 hours, it's attempting to do it. Just saying is if what I learned in crypto is I try to have enough patience and discipline to catch like the bottom low. If you're a long trader, you want the bottom. You want to buy the support, right? Why would I long at the top? It doesn't make any sense because that would mean I FOMO'd into that on accident or something went wrong, right? Because if I'm looking at charts and I'm looking, if I had to buy at point A or point B or point C, right? I want to buy at point B as a long. I want to short at point A. And then point C is undecided yet. Right? In just terms of relative, is it relatively high? Is it relatively low? Is it relatively neutral? It's questions. I have to ask myself and answer it clearly with confidence. And then committing to it. So again, the weekly is building. We haven't had a weekly low RSI for almost 4 years. So I know it's going to bounce someday. It's just the sell-off needs to end though. So, it's tough to say it to people who are hyped on crypto and super bullish is, it's not going up yet. Not yet. So where's our next low? It could retest 18,465 just in case we go downside. 18,3000. You could just do whole numbers to make it easy. 18,000, 17,000, 16. That would hit our 786 Fibonacci level down here. It's still attempting an 15-minute uptrend, but the 4 hours is still in the downtrend. Okay, so just watch out for that. If it breaks bullish, okay, great, 20,000. Then I want the market to prove to me, don't go below 20,000. Because if it hits 20,000 and then 3 days later, oh, you know what, we're at 19,000, then it's fake. Right? The real recovery would be 20,000 and then we never come back down to that. That's how I know it's real. That's why I know right now, no rush. As the long, no rush. Patience is the key. Okay, let's do Ethereum. I'm not seeing any requests. If you have any requests at all, any stock, crypto, forex, ETF that I could find on TradingView, go ahead and say request it instead of, or if you have like a general TradingView question, feel free to ask. And we're going to end in about 15 minutes from now. That's why I'm keep asking. Okay, so Ethereum, ETH. Our top, watch, I have to keep reminding people of this, our head and shoulders bearish with our neckline. Whereas the downside target is extremely terrible. It's like 80 to 90% off. Okay, well, I have to remember that. That goes all the way down here. That's $463 to $227, which is very, very cheap Ethereum. Most investors would love to see those numbers again if you're an investor, like a hodler. Love to see it. It's a pain if you're holding into it. But if you're cash and you're waiting for it, that would be phenomenal. So we're holding the 786 level here again, establishing a little bit of higher low on Ethereum. This would be nice if we can hold this higher low. We'd love to blast off into a higher high and then fix the uptrend. But the problem is the stock market, which we just looked at 25 minutes ago, is still in the downtrend. So until the price proves it to me, I'm not getting excited about anything at all. As an investor, as a swing trader, I might have bought one of these low relative lows down here. For me, though, if you haven't noticed, my focus is primarily stocks right now because of all the extreme volatility we're having. There's more opportunities in stocks than crypto, in my opinion, in the US at least. A little bit of this bullish momentum forming, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. It's crypto. So 1058 support, 980. Is there a secret pivot down here? 930. It's still just almost the same as Bitcoin chart, so I don't have to harp on this too much. The same triangle. And we just got that double top here on the 100 EMA. It's going to pull back down. So the support level is critical. If we lose it, not good. Not good. Okay, so watch out for that. The $1,000 range is our support to the downside. If we're going to break to the upside, we need to break above 12. 12 needs to blast through here, maybe pull back once to retest, blast through, and get out of here. So because it's in the middle right now, for me it's a little bit neutral. It's not, extreme low, it's not extreme high. So okay, as a swing trader, just gonna let the day traders do their thing and then wait for my clear setup. That's the patience part. It's the name of the game. We do see here, okay, if this is going to turn into an ascending triangle on a daily at least, 10 to 25% upside. So our upside target could be eventually like a 1427 up here as well. Okay, Binance Coin. Binance Coin. This particular educational setup didn't work, but it didn't get stopped out yet. Not yet. Actually, okay, but to be fair, it did get stopped out here. Another lesson. Right? If somebody's along, this looks like the low, but it wasn't really. And then I had to fire one more time in terms of buy, and then that's the low, and then I can hold it from here. But buying in the middle or buying at the top is always risky. So it is good that I'm showing that example because that's a real world scenario where somebody might have been saying, oh, potential upside down head and shoulders, but then if I have my stop loss is too small, or I bought it at a wrong spot, I got stopped out right here on that one candle right here, hypothetically. So sometimes might have to open it up. So what's the $15 range? Minimum 6%. If I want to go double that, 14% stop loss. So that would have saved me right there, right? 40% stop loss or anybody. And then the target has to be 28%, but then that might take like 3 months to achieve that target. But this would have saved somebody from getting stopped out, right? Because crypto is volatile, right? So we're not talking about like ETF 0.5 or 1% moves. It's volatile. Very similar setup. Very similar. So I'm not going to do the full TA, but another symmetrical triangle forming the plus or minus 25%. So I'm watching to see, will this 223 hold or not? Right, so our support at 215, support at 196, resistance 239, and resistance 264. Somebody can set 2 alerts, and that's all they need for support resistance. On our weekly, we did bounce off the 200 EMA and bounce up to the upside. We do have some bullish momentum forming on our weekly. Nice little interesting potential double bottom on the weekly chart. Not perfect, but if this is real double bottom, this is going to be good for Binance Coin for crypto. Because that would mean we're probably going to retest the upper 280s. It has been a while. We hit our low, high. This is our deep low. It was a attempted bounce right here in May and then lower low. So, and it did bounce off the 200 EMA. So we could be seeing a crypto bounce forming. We could be staring at getting close to the relative tradable bottom, which is why I'm going so deep on this. Let's just keep that in mind. Sometimes crypto can be our leading indicator. So if crypto starts rallying and then we go into stock earnings and we have some good earnings, I mean, that's a higher chance of a market rally bounce this summer. Our 1 hour is up cross as well. Just watch out for it. Okay, somebody's asking for CRV. Let us do it. CRV USDT on Binance. Okay, so CRV, the first thing to know about CRV is the volume is not that, at least on TradingView, is not the highest coin. So this is one of the more smaller altcoins that's usually more correlated with Bitcoin as well. All right, so, and there's not that much price data as well, but we can still do it. So get a quick Fibonacci here. It did pierce down, way down here, way below the 0.88. Let's see how much percent that was off from the top. That was 90%, basically 90% off. I'm looking at a weekly chart right now. So this has some bullish momentum on the weekly. The RSI is not that low. Other indicators might be. This is what I'm talking about. This coin got the setup that I'm talking about. A higher low, if we don't go below that, it's going to create a higher high and then pull back. So day trading, this thing is most likely going to pull back. The low setup was here, smack in the middle of June. Somebody could have bought it here or here. There's two buying spots for this one. So now this almost looks like a tech stock where you see here, if I draw the triangle, it's at the top side of the triangle. So a long, if somebody's going to try to long it, maybe like 85 cents or 67 cents or 55 cents, one of those ranges. Somebody buys at this exact second and then holds it for 3 days, this thing actually might pull back and they might have a loss. So one might want to watch out for that. By the way, this is just educational. 4 hour got a little bit too excited here. We could get a little 15-minute 1 hour bounce, right? And pull back and then retest for the potential double top on this price. But again, it has already bounced up for 10 days, 50% or 50% 5 days. A beautiful stock. I mean, crypto, but it is low liquidity. So this is not like an all-in play. CRV is too small for that. So it isn't a 1 hour upcross. That's good. It's good. It did pull back on our 15-minute, most likely our 5-minute. Let me just pull that up for our day traders. 5-minute, yeah, we did have a double bottom and then it's starting to rally as well. But our 4 hour, I'll caution people, it's up. You get what I'm saying, right? It's at the top side of the line. It was at the bottom side. Now it's at the top side. So be careful. Be careful. Is all I'm saying. For trading, if we're talking about investing, like someone's going to hodl this thing for 5 years, it's questionable because what is the project going to be alive in 4 years? 5 years from now, that's something somebody has to do their own research for. Just watch out for that. And the correlation with Bitcoin too. So, you know, what I learned in crypto, if I get the total market cap or if I get the Bitcoin direction right, most likely I get the altcoin direction right as well. And it's just a matter of picking the altcoin that has the highest chance of doing it. But we could see a large rally long term because I was showing the day trading and the swing trading, but low, high, low, right? We haven't had a significant lower high bounce up to like upper dollars yet. Just kind of be careful in this intermediate term. If someone's trying to enter, like, okay, if they're thinking, okay, this long term, 1 year from now might end up back in the upper dollar or $2 range, then trying to get a good fill so you don't just get automatically stopped out. So just any pullback down and hopefully it sticks and doesn't crash down through it. That's the risk. So that's exactly what happened on this one in July 1st is it could have kept crashing down, but that's the risk. A lot of traders bought it and then they made money. No risk, no reward, but it has to be controlled. Okay, Doge Meta. What is Doge Meta? Meta Doge? Wrapped Ether? Okay. If you type the ticker symbol exactly how it is on TradingView, that helps a lot more. So I'll just wait. I'll take a quick second, just wait for it. Just if you could type the ticker. So this one would be like Bitcoin USDT, BTC USDT, or Mana's Mana USDT, or Sand is Sand USDT. So I think it's this one. That there's like a Doge wrapped Meta Ether one, but if you could type the exact ticker symbol, that would help clear things up a lot. While I wait for that, I'm just going to take a quick glance at everything on the list. Just do a quick. Okay, just do a quick visual while I'm waiting for the request. Sometimes I like to do this, just get a quick bird's eye view of everything on my USA list. You can see a lot of altcoins are very similar. I'm just going rapid fire down through all of them. So Atom had a little nice rally. It held that higher low right here, upside down head and shoulders, end of June. But Atom still, everything's making that higher high. It could push higher because it's crypto, but I'm just saying it's at the turnaround spot. It might rally into it. It might rally into it and then fold down eventually. So, you know, with crypto, sometimes being in early before everyone else is just is the key. Bitcoin Cash still in the downtrend. Ethereum Classic hesitating right here in the middle of the 618 previous retrace. Algo hesitating as well. XLM just stellar, attempting to just survive above this support. If we lose 10 cents, 1040, 1038 on stellar, it's a big trouble. We'll come back to mana. H bar also trying to hold the support level above 6 cents. So if it loses that, then we know to not long it right away. It's just wait for it to crash because it's not a super low area. Although in the bullish case, and this is what I mean, even if I did long it, the market makers know, okay, let's just kick everybody out of their positions. Sometimes I just wait a little bit, so there's no reason to lose money on it. The only thing I'm seeing is I know long term this could turn into a double bottom. So in case H bar, I'm calling it out now, this might be the support bottom. If it doesn't go lower, then it actually might rally. Because on a weekly or on a daily, it's getting stuck right here. So this could turn to a giant W. This would be very nice. H bar, that's like 20-25%. It's there, it's building. Somebody tried to kick everybody out on that. Market maker tried to do that. Wave, see, a lot of these cryptos, they're trying to hold their higher low, trying to survive in the market on their support level. Everybody's trying. It's in a sim triangle or some kind of wedge. Those are old plays. Support. Another symmetrical triangle. Ape coin. Trying to hold a higher low, but again, it's in that neutral to the upper side. So there's significant more risk at this spot than there was 1 month ago. But if we zoom out, Ape coin, low, high, low, high. Okay, is it going to make another low? I wouldn't be surprised if Ape coin tried to double bottom right here above 342 and then blast back off. But this is still a good sign. It could pull back and still be healthy all the way down to $4 if it can maintain the health. Try to get a trend change. It feels like the market's trying to do it right now, but ApeCoin's already a little bit kind of bounced up already. But I want to see that follow through to the upside before investors start piling back into it. Zcash had a little bounce, but it looks like it's already over. Interesting, GRT with the double bottom here on the smaller altcoin. Relatively low volume. It's not the biggest coin, but still it's holding above 0.895. So, you know, but on the 4 hour, it's not the lowest low. But on a day chart, it's trying just like the other coin I was talking about is this could turn into a nice play. W, and if it's extreme, it could just, you know, extreme global FOMO. This thing could blast off 30% to like it's 60%, but it's going to take maybe 3 months for that to happen. I want to see the turnaround. This is good though. we're seeing a double bottom. Okay, fantastic. Now, what are the scenarios that can happen? Good double bottom, bullish, W, okay. Or not, we could just W and then consolidate. That's number 2. Or it could bounce and then fail. So there's risk, but still, I like to see that. It stopped, good. So you might see a little bit of a rally like in June, and then if it's bearish stock market correlation, then it's going to pull back down to the downside. Watch out for that. Interesting. Interesting. This might be something fundamental with one, is that one has a strong downtrend, but you know it's getting deep. There must have been some fundamental issue with one, or just technical selling, because it's cheap coin. This is literally a penny coin. Way below that 0.88 retrace. There, the MACD. I'll keep my eyes on one. Okay, it's not. It has volume too. It's very low as well. So it's a very suspicious coin in that it hasn't really made a lower high bounce. Do you know what I mean? It hasn't bounced up for a while. MACD histogram on the long-term investing chart is good, and the weekly is fairly getting to that downside. You have double bottom here on the daily RSI. The 4-hour, except it has bounced on that momentum. So on the next deep pullback, I mean, even I might play this because compared to every single chart, this one didn't bounce up yet significantly. So this thing, even just the pivot point is like 62% up. So like, oh, okay, all right. This I'm interested in one. Maybe I'm not the exact perfect spot on this second on the stream, but this chart stood out to me. But there might be some fundamental problem, so you know, let's not get too excited about it. But can't change the stop loss. But I'm gonna set alerts on this one because I'm gonna keep my eye on one. It's interesting. I'll put one on the resistance up here, right above the daily on this chart. So like a 1911. It's an alert. One breakout play. And the support is 1650, which is way down. 1650, one support breakdown short. Right, now that I got those two in there, I'm just going to draw this. So the potential, at least to that first support, is 50% to the upside. The stop loss is only supposed to be like 10% or something. Let me just get a more accurate number for people online. It's a very volatile coin. So this thing moves 15 to 30%. So this is not all in play. I'm just saying it's like a potential trade. Okay, so now that the stop loss is much more reasonable, because if it's 51% upside or 50% upside, then I'll put like a 25% stop loss so I can protect myself. I'm not going to get stopped out in 1 second by the bots. But it's getting interesting. I'm not saying this is the exact spot to do it, but it's getting interesting. So one. Okay, Neo as well. It's still in the downtrend, and hopefully we can hit this double bottom. If not, you can see here there's a deep support at 667 range. It has death cross, but we could go all the way down to 571 though. I drew this here a long time ago, so just watch out for that for the investing side. Competition, if you have another request, just let me know, and then that'll be the last one for today. Ooh, Dash with a potential double bottom here above $41. So same deal. If it loses the support, that's not a buy. Just wait for it. And then the lowest low would be the entry somewhere down here in the 2950s. But if it holds, great. That's an easy support visual play. You could buy here, potentially profit target 52 or 65 with a deep stop loss. So we saw CRV. So if we look at all the charts and then we come to CRV, is like, oh, this one already popped up already. That's how I know to be careful. BAT as well. We're trying to find the ones that like didn't pop up yet. And this is not the complete list either. It's just what I usually look at. Now these are really small coins, the lower liquidity, lower volume coins. Zen, interesting. See, this is a different one. It's not a complete, you know, there's something here, this double bottom at 1278. What's the measure move? It's already kind of went up already, but the first target's here, 1635. If it goes another 25%, that's 2050. So, and negative 20% is 1031. So these are the 4 levels on the horizon. And you could draw the trend line to the upside. So you could see it's not really going to do anything huge. It needs to break out, retest, and then the whole internet's going to talk about that. Just watch out for that. Storage, little storage. See, storage is so small that any small fluctuation can. The volume is so low on storage, so just be careful on these little small ones. NMR. This looks like a pump and dump. Okay, so watch out for this. When you see this on the charts, this is the no FOMO mentality. There was a obvious bullish setup here on NMR, and so higher low right here, and then blast it off. This is like bots, and everybody like a pump and dump group bought this, or somebody bought a huge amount of money and it triggered all the bots to buy. All the shorts get short squeezed out. This is that no FOMO play. Yes, it could bounce up one more time, but at the same time, is if I didn't catch the bottom, I just walk away. Because it's literally at the spot where the shorts are going to start rebuilding their position and try to push it back down, at least. So I'm not touching NMR. Auger in the sim triangle. Auger in the sim triangle. Auger is volatile band. Yep, I mean some of these band and SLP, they're trying to hold their support levels. Okay, so somebody wants me to look at API. This will be the last one. It's from the DeFi space. Okay. Maybe look around for one that has more data on it. It's probably going to be like a overseas exchange first. Just use the KuCoin chart because it has a little bit more data, almost like 2 years. So the thing is, if we're talking about swing trading on API 3, is it already had the bounce, almost like CRV. So the thing with trading is, unless you're in early before anybody else, it's most likely not the bottom of the move. So if everyone's talking about right here in API 3, and this is nothing personal, it's just what I learned, is if everyone's talking about something, that means the move already happened. So there was that bullish momentum set up for like a month here, the reversal. That was pretty big, and people put risk on, and then they got rewarded today or the past like month to hit $2. From an investing standpoint, okay, there's some momentum building on the weekly. It hit the resistance here at 221, and then it could easily pull back down to 144. It could do this. It could double bottom retest and then go up. It could pull back halfway and then go up. That's where I would want to enter, somewhere down here or down here. Just trying not to FOMO on it because it's hitting that first short-term EMA resistance right now. It is still uptrending in the 4 hours. It's good. Start to upcross, so the support immediate is 173. There's trendline support of 192. So I'll be watching like those kind of levels. And again, it is upcross and it's in the neutral zone of the upward channel. So it's we're probably gonna have to wait for like the day traders to make a move in terms of, is somebody gonna sell it off? Is somebody gonna buy it again? It isn't a 1 hour up cross, which is good, but again, it's not at a support level right now. So for trading, for me, I'll wait for like the next pullback to make an attempt on it, because it's like the 7th attempt. But if you've been following my stream for a long time, we know that somewhere up here it gets too obvious and then it actually fails sometimes. So wherever the top is going to be, just watch out for that price actually failing, and then it starts downtrending, short's going to attack, and this thing's going to go down. So just watch out for that. We went through the 3 time frames. Is it at the exact overbought region where it's too expensive? No, it's still reasonable. 65. It could pull back and then bounce up to 253, pull back and then bounce up to 3. It's definitely possible. But in terms of where was the setup that a lot of swing traders were staring at, it was right here in the box. May to June, and then someone executed right on this higher low. Yes, but again, it's crypto, so these are just charts, so that's not going to stop people from buying. Do you know what I mean? So if it keeps going up, then it's going to keep going up. Nothing can stop that buying rampage. And then when it gets extreme, wherever that's going to be, it could be now, it could be up here, it could be higher at the $3 or $2.50. Then once I start seeing a downtrend, I would not recommend to buy that. It is uptrending, so I would say the earliest spot is support, and try to buy as low as possible, so we're not going to accidentally buy and then be down 20% or 10% on a crypto trade because of momentum. And just to wrap things up, remember we are entering stock market earnings season in about 3 weeks from now. When all the big tech firms report, that's going to have some kind of effect on Bitcoin as well. So just go ahead and watch out. Just be aware of it, that we have a lot of things going on in stock and crypto right now. And please keep in mind, these are just educational setups. I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. So if you liked what you saw today, you learned something, please go ahead and give me a follow on any of these platforms. Donations are always appreciated. The social media links are in my profile. That's going to be it for today, and I will see you next weekend on the live stream. Thank you, and let's have a nice week. Bye-bye.